ECAS is the biggest conference on African studies in Europe, and it's a great place to be, to meet other scholars, listen to interesting presentations, but also to create and establish new networks and meet old friends and colleagues.
Does this conference, would you think, have an impact of your and your colleagues' research?
Yeah, I think so. It's always good to be updated what other people do, and these huge conferences like this is a very good opportunity to see what the current status of the research on Africa is today.
You're also sharing a session. Could you say something about that?
Yeah, it's a session about large-scale land and water acquisitions in East Africa with the subtitle Opportunities, Opposition or Oppression.
Which one is it?
Well, that's part of the key, because it's obviously all depending upon who you talk to and whose interests are taken care of. Because obviously it's a lot of opposition, it's also a lot of oppression, but at the same time it's also a lot of big money involved. So there are obviously some people gaining, but also people are losing. So the question is how and why and to what extent is this a preferable development. And governments to a large extent prefer this development, and what we focus in this session, rather than just the land grabbing issue as such, but also the water issue behind, because no investors are interested in sand in Sahara unless there's oil beneath, because you need water, and water is one of the most scarce resources. And to a large extent, agricultural development in Africa will not necessarily be because of lack of land, but because of lack of water. And from that perspective, it is interesting to see to what extent these large-scale investments also influence other agricultural practices and developments, which in particular has consequences for the smallholders.